Hi guys, and welcome to another SciCraft episode. So we are back at spawn, where we are currently excavating the whole spawn down to bedrock in order to improve the server performance just a little bit. So we made quite a lot of progress. I can show you here. That's the dry area we're currently digging. Currently also at layer Y30, and yeah, some parts have already been dug down even further. But we also had an ocean biome inside of the spawn chunks, which of course requires some water removal. So in order to do that, I dug all the blocks away to get a common lowest Y layer. And the next step in order to remove all the water is building up a 3-directional flying machine. So it will remove all the water blocks at once. Just need to build up a little flying machine. And the design I will use was shown to me by Tokjane. I made a design on my own a while ago, but the design by Tokjane requires a little less effort to build up, but it has the slight disadvantage that the blocks that encase the area where the flying machine would remove water blocks isn't straight. So for my design, the straight wall or enclosure would have worked, but for Tokjane's design I need to build up a sand wall now. It works with sand mostly, just need a few leaf blocks. Of course, for the flying machine is made out of slime blocks, and at some spaces it would, of course, drag the blocks. But the design of Johnny has also the advantage that it's twice as fast. So the flying machine will go to one end, then it pushes down twice, then it goes to the other end and also pushes down twice, and the flying machine is only pushed down once. You'll see that in the time lapse that it will make. Okay, so the next step is building up the enclosure on both sides. So that's the pattern of the enclosure that I'm making. I can use sand in most spots, just need leaf blocks here or any other block that slime doesn't pick up in one spot. And another advantage of Tokjane's design is that you can run it individually. So I could run a flying machine first, which is 8 wide, and then do the rest later. So basically just do a test run first. But I can also run all the machines at once, so that's probably my plan. Run 8 wide, first test it, and then do the rest at once. Alright, so I've built up the first flying machine. Let's try it out. So I activate the subserver. Okay, I think I made a mistake. I should have built the other station lower, and also this flying machine flies way too low, so it's gonna crash. Yep. Okay, I guess I'll build it up again. So that's what test runs are good for. Would have been a lot more annoying if I would have built up the whole array. So let's do the next test run. I built up this station here 1 block higher, and also the flying machine, and I'm quite sure it should work now. Let's try it out, and then I fill it again. Can at least use the rockets. Yeah, nice. So it crashed. No, it didn't crash, it's just some ghost blocks. Yeah, of course, client thinks they're ghost blocks. Okay, anyway, more ghost blocks. Let's head over to the other side. So now I can see that the water is taken out, as it should. Now this station, so it gets pushed down once. Now the flying machine is pushed down. This part didn't work. I forgot the piston. Not actually sure if I can fix it if I add it now. Will it launch? So how can I place the piston? I think I have to dig down. Yeah, that's always annoying. We need the wrench, Mojang. Okay, place the piston. Place the iron block again. Then, what was the piston? This one here? What was that even? Okay, push down. And it launches again, great. So, then it activates once more, and it pushes down again. Okay, as you can see here, because we have this one iron block on the side, there's also the water source destroyed there, and the water just flows down on the side. So this prevents that any water would flow on top of the flying machine. Okay, so now the flying machine is now pushed down on each side and always goes down a single block. and I'll just let this run, and meanwhile I can already start building up the other flying machines. Right, so it went quite smooth. Build up all the machines, and now we can start them. Technically, I could also start them one after the other, but I want to start them all at the same time. I think that's too far. Oh, made it. Okay, a little Elytra flight. So, attached a lot of banners to the slime block. So if I remove the slime block now, all of the flying machines would launch at once. Actually, get the rocket. And yeah, let's just do it. Okay, so this looks good so far. Yeah. Now this will be quite laggy. Trying to make a time lapse. I can't tell if it's gonna update correctly. But I think if the replay mod, render it separately, so it should work out. Okay, so this went very well. Methods is already busy removing sand and leaves on this side. TDL is digging down, and we have 4 lanes left. Because it just didn't work out perfectly with the amount of flying machines, we have to build a separate one and remove the last water. But apart from that, spawn chunks are finally dry, and we can continue digging down to bedrock. I also want to give you guys an update on the quarry progress, so we can check out the 7-segment display I built up 2 episodes ago. So here we are on the Nether hub, which is about 3000 blocks away from the quarry, and here this display shows at which layer the quarry is currently digging. Signal is sent over every time the quarry goes down a layer, and then the score decreases by 1. So 58, then we have 47 layers to go. If you don't have any significant downtime of the quarry, this should take about 40 to 45 days. So won't take long anymore. More than half is already done. We can also check out the quarry in first person, because I actually need to bring over some fuel. Here we are at the quarry site, and you can see we have progressed quite a bit now. So of the main fortress, there's just the pillars left. So those would be painful to remove manually, because you have to either use TNT or you can't really instant mine it. Then the other side we have a second fortress, which is also in the perimeter, but just on the side. There's also not much left now. As I said, we're at layer 58. So the next big milestone would be reaching the lava layer. Of course, this would be really painful to remove in normal normal manual effort. So 45 days left. You can also check the items. Meanwhile, maybe you've seen my new quarry that also fixes a problem with this machine here. So we didn't notice this while we built it, but it's actually not quite lossless. So the TNT system here is too close together. So the first TNT is shot over here, and the second TNT is, they are both explode in the same game tick. But the way the game works is the first TNT explodes, then a lot of those blocks are turned into items immediately, and then the second TNT explodes, also immediately destroys some of the items. That's where the item loss comes from. So we never noticed this because we never saw any items not getting picked up because they were destroyed immediately. And this actually decreases the amount of items we get by about 20 to 25%. So we don't have as many items as we would have expected. You can also check it. So here we have 14 shulker boxes of nether quartz, which is really nice. Take a long time to collect it by hand. Now you also have, so it's 15 nether brick boxes, glowstone. Yeah, we also have 2 now. Soul sand, which is also nice. We always short in soul sand. We also have 14 now, or 13, sorry. And the most stuff is of course the nether brick we smelt. We have about 2.8 million now, which is super nice. Okay, so that 40 to 45 days left. And then we can progress. All of the quarry needs to be removed afterwards. And for the remaining 11 layers, we just use a simple TNT duping machine and run it over. It will take about a whole day, but it will be built in 5 minutes. Back at the spawn chunks, it's a few days later, and as you can see, spawn chunks have been dug out completely now. So we can also check on the amount of items we got from it. So we put up this temporary sorting system, and we got a lot of stone. So we put shulker boxes over here. So we got about 800,000 stone from it, but we also threw a lot of stone out once we had more than 500,000, because who needs all that stone? What's kind of interesting is that we got a lot more granite than andesite and diorite. Don't know if that always happens, but it was kind of interesting. Then also gravel, coal ore and that stuff, some normal ores. Okay, that's the amount of items we got. Also needed to remove some systems. Before the plan was to keep it all and just remove the stone around it, but for example I removed the system that connected our portal here that keeps the overworld loaded while nobody's on the server by shooting an item through it every 14 seconds. This was previously connected to the cobblestone farm, which is this green building over there, but this has been removed because the cobblestone farm has issues on its own, which could be fixed, but it require some effort first. So the items for the portal are now produced by a rail duper. So this is directly connected to the clock here. Every time we shoot an item through, rails are getting duped. Then we have hopper minecarts below, pick up the items and put it into the dropper that shoots the items through the portal. So as long as rail duping is in the game, we could keep the system, or until we make a proper solution, which is not the SG. So make another cobblestone farm, a proper one this time, or you could also just bring over items, to be honest. So for example, the rotten flesh of a mob farm could be brought over, would also last a long time. Or even, we don't have this portal in the spawn chunks anyway, so we could also move it somewhere else and then make a loop. Here in the spawn chunks is a little bit of a problem to loop the items, so basically bring them back from the nether to the overworld again, and because the portals wouldn't connect. Then also remove as many hoppers as possible inside of the spawn chunks. I'm even debating with myself if I should remove that crafting system instead of the spawn chunks that I built up just a few episodes ago. So it's in this building, stop rockets, because also has a lot of hoppers. So yeah, maybe I'll build it up somewhere else. This was used to configure shulker boxes with certain items, to craft them, or do this AFK and afterwards craft them. But now with the changes in the crafting system, I also might need a different system again, which isn't as sophisticated. So I'm not sure what to do about this. Also, definitely going to remove the temporary shulker box filling system here. Also, the temporary sorter here will be removed in order to improve the lag situation. What we'll keep is the spawn tower, because it looks quite nice, and we also built this diorama in the middle. Shouldn't require a lot of performance. Also, if you're wondering, no passive mobs could spawn here inside of spawn chunks because it's around the spawn point. The spawn point is directly here, and in a 25 block radius around spawn point, no passive mobs and also no hostile mobs can spawn. Also, not all people know this. So that's why we can have bare grass here and don't need to worry about the passive mob cap. Yeah. While we are on topic, passive mob cap, so I also completely disabled the mushroom farm. Unfortunately, I didn't press record. So what it did is, just removing some torches here that would trigger the pistons, and I completely flushed the mushroom farm, so no mushrooms can ever spawn. Because it was an issue, also was not perfect, we had the mushroom farm partially in the side of the spawn chunks. So now if the mushroom farm would be running and we leave the area, then mushrooms could fill up the mob cap. Which of course is an issue if you have another passive mob farm somewhere else. So Gnemmon's multi-animal passive mob farm at his island wouldn't work. So that's why we had to come up with a solution to disable the mushroom farm. So that's why we had a passive mob switch with chickens. So this was the chicken mob switch, which is no longer needed. The idea was here to summon chickens in order to prevent mushrooms from spawning. So at the press of the button, we could either kill the chickens with lava or dispense eggs in order to get new chickens to fill up the mob cap. So this is no longer needed because we completely want to disable the mushroom farm. If we ever need steak again, which probably will never happen because we have so much left, then we can easily make a new perimeter now with the TNT tubers. It will be done in no time. Actually, we have plans for a new perimeter that also involves a mushroom island. So we can easily build a new farm. Also, we still have Gnemmon's passive mob farm, so we could also get our food from there. But even if we play 10 more years, we probably won't run after steak we have now. It's a little bit sad that we have to remove all those systems here, because we spent a lot of effort building them. But like in real life, technology in Minecraft still is evolving, and we're just so much smarter than we were 2 years ago. On one hand, then the wish comes up that we restart the map and do everything perfectly. But on the other hand, then a new update comes along, breaks the farms again, so that just the same thing would happen again, and you're always in a loop that you want to restart and make everything perfect, but it's just not possible because the game is still changing all the time. So that's why we stick with the old map. It's also much more fun if you have all the resources. I don't really like the early game grind. Don't have the resources. Like you have farm A that produces a certain item that you need to build for farm B, and farm B produces the stuff you need to build for farm A, and the dilemmas like those aren't fun really. So kind of glad that we are past that, and don't really want to restart the server to make it perfect again. Also, so much from this old stuff we have on the server now that doesn't work anymore, but it's also kind of nice that we still have like the buildings, even if they no longer work. Rego has also been working on improving the server performance. So this iron farm here with 256 villages requires about 40 or 50 villagers. And when they are standing inside of the spawn chunks, of course, they do all the collision detections and so on. The AI is enabled. That's not really perfect. That's why we made an automated system to bring the villagers to the lazy chunks. So if nobody's at spawn, then the villagers just in lazy loaded chunks and they don't contribute at all to the lag. They're just more or less written to a list, but they don't do any collision checks and so on. So in tier switch, you can activate them and bring them back to the iron farm again, to their position where they can detect all the doors and that stuff. I'm not really an expert on those iron farms. But anyway, this will help a lot. I did some checks in the survival copy world, and it brought the TPS up from 100 to 120 while nothing else was running on the server. So there's a big improvement here. Also, while we're at it, I found 2 entities in the spawn checks that can be removed. I don't know if you can see it. We have some wither skulls here at the top. So I'll try to get up there so we can remove those. Okay, I managed to put in some scaffolding, and now let's remove those old wither skulls. So we had a wither loose on the server at some point. This was even before I joined the server, and I don't know if it's still in the game, but yeah, those wither skulls could lose momentum and then basically just get stuck forever. Can't really interact with them in any way. I think the only way to remove them is using water and flush them. I guess you can also move them with pistons, but yeah, it's been a long time that I messed around with those. Okay, so I think if I use water now, then the skull will be flushed away. Yep, so one entity is gone. I don't know if they require a lot of performance, but as you can see, if I do F3 and P, that's an entity. So yeah, better get rid of those. This one is a little bit higher. So what should I do here? I guess this will work. And I'm out of dirt, great. Got some momentum, will it collide? Wasn't enough, let's do it once more. Whoa! Didn't expect it. Okay, so it still have some explosive power. Okay, so 2 entities removed out of the spawn chunks, maybe it will help. In case you're wondering, since we removed this passive mob switch, if animals can spawn in those diorama scenes inside of the spawn tower, on those cross blocks of course, no they can't, because in a 24 block radius around the spawn point, which is in the middle of those 4 blocks, no mobs can spawn, so no hostile mobs and also no passive mobs. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but as far as I know it's a cylinder, so the spawn point is actually at the top here, and 24 block radius around it, nothing can spawn. Not entirely sure. If you get some mobs spawning here, then we know what to do. We need to move the spawn point downwards, or just remove the grass again. But I'm quite optimistic that we don't get any spawns now. To end the episode, I'll go for another 60-minute mining session again. So like always, I try a different strategy. This time it's beacon mining. Also setting up the beacon is part of the 60-minute time frame, and I'll show you how quickly you can set up a beacon. I hope to do it in about 3 to 3.5 minutes. So I'll only use the haste this time and no speed. So let's start the timer and dig straight down. Let's just hope for the best. If I would need speed as well, then I could make a 2-wide shaft to dig down. It's also a little bit safer. Okay, let's check. I want to set it up at about Y30. So I brought some TNT here. So let's make a first explosion. Get some space to place more TNT. Okay, should be fine. I'll spam it a little bit. And I guess that's more than enough. Let's get quickly out of here. Yeah, it ignited. Oh, that could be close. That's fine. Okay, this gives us more than enough space to set up the beacon. Just need to find the skylight access again. Okay, so center point. A little bit more TNT would have been nice. got to mine some blocks. Okay, this attempt's already not that successful. I should have used more TNT. Anyway, need 4 to each side. And yeah, I mentioned it in the last episodes already. I just want to gather diamonds and lapis ore. The other ores are not interesting for us. Okay, this did take me 2.5 minutes approximately. Okay, and the attempt wasn't even perfect. Okay, now I got the haste. Yeah, now I start mining at Y11, and this time I'll do a strategy where I remove most of the blocks. Not all of them, did just do haste 1 now. Oh, what happened? Okay, 3 minutes still. Okay, we'll remove most of the... What's going on? Haste 2. Okay, I got it. So I want to remove most of the blocks, but not all of them. I was going to drink the night vision now. So instead of doing some branch mining, I'll remove most of the blocks. Just need to remember the center point and dig 50 blocks in each direction at Y10, 11. Yeah, like here. So I'll just do it a little bit chaotic and move all the blocks and search for diamonds. So that's the strategy that I'm using this time. I remove all the stone blocks and leave dirt, gravel and ores behind, because they took the longest to mine, and yeah, for dirt I need to switch tools. It's just no point to remove that as well. Okay, then yeah, so far it's going great. Still have 32 minutes left, and I got 56 diamond ore so far. It's all on Y11. Next I want to go down a layer and continue mining there. What I should also mention is that we use a different jar where one thing got fixed. It's just a one-line fix. Those annoying ghost blocks that you may know. So sometimes it happens that the client thinks a block has been removed, but still the server side. And it's really annoying that you get stuck in those blocks. And it's been plaguing us for years now. And then XCOM actually did take a look into the code and fixed it. It was just a one-line fix. This was a really good run. I needed about 7 pickaxes. Now it's time to head back. I just leave the beacon behind. I mean, it's not really that expensive to get one. And yeah, then we also know that we have mined in this area before. Here are the results. So I got 137 diamond ore and 74 lapis ore. Got a lot of diamond this time. It's really a good run. Not so much lapis, but yeah, maybe I just don't pay that much attention to lapis. Okay, so if you would use fortune on it, you could expect 301.4 diamonds. Not bad for 1 hour. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.